Hello, everyone. My name is Shewa Kinlowa. I'm still on the Oman Abroad series. So the last time, or in the last video, I talked about information, how vital information is. There's a quote by a man of God, Bishop Oyedepo, that says, "If you are not informed, you will be deformed." So that means like the level of one's deformity perhaps could actually be as a result of one's lack of information. And at the same time, too, the level of one's progress could be as a result of the information one has received or the help one has received. If you look at it, if you look at your life as a whole, you realize that what you have today is as a result of that which you know, the information you were able to get at that time, and also the help people read that. So always, just have a heart of thanksgiving. Be grateful for where you are because people helped you and God helped you. And I have a popular quote that says, "I'm a girl helped by God and by men." I do not underestimate the help of men. I do not underestimate the help of God. And today, let's move into what we have to say today, or what I have to say today. Let's move into that. Yes. So, I'll be talking about couples because I promised in the last video that I'll talk about couples. And let's just go straight into that. For some couples, the journey into migration was actually maybe inspired by maybe the wife, or for some people it could be based on their husbands, pushing or leading to go into diaspora. For some people, their migration story is actually based on maybe their wife saying, "Oh, my husband, let's go abroad." And for some other people, it could be the man saying, "Let's go, let's move abroad, let's migrate." Whichever way it is, in the very first video, I talked about, sometimes people blaming each other, either the first or the second video, people blaming each other. Now that you've come into the diaspora, or perhaps you want to move to diaspora, you have to, kind of, live a life, maybe that is blame free. You said, if not for you, I would not be here. How do you move forward? Rather than sitting down or wallowing in the depression, or in the, if not because of my wife, I would not be here, or if not because of my husband, I will not be here. Why not move together? Why not, like perhaps, I don't mean move together if you've not moved. That's not what I'm saying. So why not, cooperate? Why not be united in your decisions? Now that you are here, what is your goal as couples? What is your goal? What do you want to do? For many years in the diaspora, I used to ask myself, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? That question is not as a result of regret or anything, but I just wanted purpose. God, why am I here? Why am I here? Why did I have to leave my familiar zone to the unfamiliar, to meet new people, new friends, new families? Many of us don't like change. Yes, I actually don't really like change in terms of, movement, migration, and all that. But I'm here. God, what is the purpose? So, as couples, if you reason it together, pray together, what is the purpose? Why are we here? And I believe that when you have that in your mind, if you have that purpose, you will be able to achieve anything with the help of God that you want to achieve. But when couples sit down blaming each other, I bet you they will not move forward. One person might decide to move forward, the other person may not. The other person who has accepted the blame might wallow in that self-pity. Oh, if not for me, my husband would not have been here. If not for me, we don't need those blame games. We want success. We want to achieve something. We want to be whole. That is the purpose. We want to be whole. Yes. And that's why you have to, make up your minds what you want to do. Go out there. If you're the man, you have access to informations. Get those informations. Tell your wife about it. Wife, don't sit down as well, wallowing in self-pity to say, oh, I can't do anything. There are many things you could do from home. If you have decided to even sit at home to raise the kids, there are things you could do. Before COVID, a lot of people sat at home, stayed at home, looking after their young ones. It's excellent. It's good. And because no one would actually offer anybody job from home. But COVID struck and dynamics of things changed. People could work from home. People could earn money while staying at home, while looking after their young ones. This is just depending on what you have decided, both of you. And I said the both of you. There are times that, for some men, they may say, oh, they don't want their wives to work. Have you examined the mental state of your wife? What does that mean? Perhaps in your home country, your wife used to work. She was happy, social, outgoing person, with life, full of vigor. Now you've moved abroad. She's homebound. She's no longer herself. She's not happy. You need to be sensitive to her needs. You need to be sensitive. It's not the time to blame her. It's not the time to make her unhappy. It's not the time for you to frustrate her. Yes, it's the time for you to support your wife so that you can both grow together. This is what I mean. For instance, if, for example, you're a doctor and you are here with your wife, with your family, and your wife is not working, she also has got a life. She also has got a vision. She's got a purpose. Encourage your wife to do something. Encourage your wife to write that book she has always wanted to write. Encourage your wife to do something. You are going out, seeing people. Your mental state is fine, but she is indoor. That may not be healthy for her. There are some people that they don't mind staying at home. It's okay by them. It's fine with them. And they are happy with it. They are content. But what about your own wife? If she's not content, why don't you want her to do something? Why don't you want her to, do something? For some men, they may think, oh, their wives will now start competing with them. They'll start earning money, sending money home. It's more than that. It's more than sending money home. It's about your health. We've been talking about health. Even information is part of the health so that people won't become depressed on the long run. And also your decision making as couples would also be part of your health in the future. How healthy would you become in the future? How healthy would you have been in the future? How healthy will you be in the future if you don't make right decisions? If you don't make right decisions, you may not be healthy, even in the diaspora. Yeah, so I just want to think on those thoughts, think on those things, work together as couples. If you are united, you'll be able to achieve something great. But if the home is divided, then it's a disaster. Life really. There won't be growth. And that's why it does not matter the kind of job you do. It does not matter the amount you earn. It's unity that brings about strength. It's unity that brings about growth. And that would actually bring about health, good health. Not just only for you, also people around you. How healthy are you in your relationship with one another? Are you the kind of man that says, oh, it's my culture. In my culture, we don't do this. In my culture, we don't do that. And sometimes this is the question I ask myself. Is it really about, your culture or your values? There are cultures, there are values. So values, personal desires, personal, goals personal responsibility. Whereas for culture, it's a collective thing. Things people, individuals have decided that this is the norm, then that becomes a culture. So you must have your own values, you must have your own, goals, you must know what you want, not what other people says or calls culture, or not what other people call culture. You must have something specific you stand for. So stand for love, stand for growth, stand for unity, stand for the truth, not just what people have decided to coin. You coin your own culture in your own home, and in that way you will be healthy in the diaspora. Yes. There are times people say, oh, in their home countries, they don't do this as men, they don't do that as men. What about people whose wives are healed, whose wives are dying? That, God help us, where about those people, who don't even have life? We're just asking God for another bread of life. At that time, those things do not matter. Support one another, support yourselves. For instance, if, for example, you are the doctor missus in the house and your husband is not a doctor, things might be difficult in that relationship based on the perception of your husband, based on the perception of your family. But it's good that both of you, you are united. No one is envying one another. No one is competing with one another, but rather you're striving to grow together. That is very important. And at the end of the day, it's not about the salary perhaps your wife earns, but rather what you as the man, what you as the wife have been able to deposit in one another. And that is the thing that would allow both of you to grow. It's not just money values. You are building generations. You are building seeds. You are building, you're growing together, loving one another. And with that mindset, you will achieve great things in the diaspora. So for people who perhaps have been blaming their wives or calling them names because they are the ones working, stop it. It's not healthy. You're killing yourselves when you do that. Why don't you just support yourselves? Do something as the man. And as the wife who is not working, do something as well to support your husband. It's not easy for one person to work in the diaspora. And everything is about timing. I remember for years, I didn't work in the diaspora. I was raising kids. I didn't work. At the same time, I was writing exams. I was doing masters. I was not just there. I'm just using this as an example. I was content. I was doing something. I was not miserable. I was grateful. So, just have a good mindset. A growth mindset where you are at the moment might actually, help in your growth tomorrow. So whatever thing you can learn today, learn it. Whatever thing you can put your hands into them to achieve great success. Together you stand. Together you stand. It's important we talk about those things. Thank you. See you another time. By God's grace. Bye. Thank you.